Hello everybody, welcome back to another Minecraft Redstone tutorial. I got an automatic randomized firework crafting station for you today. It's pretty cool, it's easy to use, and it's really simple to build. So let me show you what's going on in here. So you come into this little area, hit the button, you should get everything you need for a firework rocket. It's going to be random every time. It's pretty cool. You put a piece of dye, piece of gunpowder, and your modifier up there in the top. You make your first little ball right like so. Then you put your second piece of dye to make your fade out color. Then you put your rest of your gunpowder in here. And a piece of paper, you got yourself a rocket. So that's pretty quick. Let's do it again so you can see that it's going to be random every time. Okay, we got the maximum amount of gunpowder, so I'm just going to clear this until you can see that we've got a different amount of gunpowder every time. Nope, that's still 4. Let's try it again. It's totally random, so sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. You see there I got 3 that time, so if we craft this up, it's going to turn into a slightly different variation with a different flight variation and all that stuff. It's pretty sweet. Whoops, I did it a little bit wrong. There you go. So you got your star, you got all your modifiers, and now you're left with 2 pieces of gunpowder, which makes it a flight duration 2. You can see there it says it, as opposed to a flight duration 3. It's also got different colors, it's got different modifiers, and you could just keep on going with this. So I'm going to hit it a few more times. You can see you get different stuff every single time. Sometimes you get the same color dye, sometimes it's different. Yeah, it's pretty handy. It's pretty easy to use, like I keep saying. So I'm going to show you what you need to build it. I'm just going to keep doing this a few more times so you can see the kind of randomization you'll get. Alright, well let's move on here. I'll show you how to build it. I'll show you all the materials you need. And yeah, I'll explain some of the little details about how exactly this works, because there is some weird stuff going on here. Okay, so the way that this works, one of the key features of this is that this one right here is a dispenser. All the rest of them are droppers. This is a dispenser, and it's got some pumpkins in here. Let me explain something that's kind of interesting that makes this whole contraption work in such a small way. I mean, you could do this in a bigger way, but what's going on is that these are pumpkins, and this is a dispenser, and because there's nobody here to give the pumpkin to, it's not going to do anything if it tries to activate it with a pumpkin. So we have the hat on, which means that we're not going to get the pumpkin, so we can stand up in front of it, hit the button, and still nothing happens. But if we take off our hat, hit the button, you can see we're going to get a pumpkin. So that's how this trick works, is it's trying to find a player to give the pumpkin to, and because you know you're not there, and because there's nobody else there, and you know you've got a hat when you are there, it's not able to do so. So it's just going to act as a, I was trying to find the word there. It's going to be a dud. It's going to activate, but it's going to be a dud. Nothing's going to happen. So if we put other stuff in here, like I don't know, just put some random items in there and hit the button, then sometimes nothing's going to happen. Sometimes something is going to happen. So that's how the randomization there works. Okay, so this is an early game build, but it's going to require late game materials, so it's kind of weird. But you are going to need a sugarcane farm for your paper. I'm using the modifiers of these 3 types because these seem like the easiest to get. Obviously, you don't even need any modifiers or whatever. You could use all one type, but you are going to need, you know, some blaze rods and stuff for these fire charges, and some gold. Anyway, the dyes are pretty self-explanatory. You can do whatever you want with those as well. So, we go on to the materials here. You can see that is pretty dang simple. There's not much to it. It's a pretty early game build, like I said. Just a little bit of redstone. You could use whatever kind of blocks you want. You're going to need some lighting as well. I like to use block lighting for most everything. And then obviously item frames if you want to know what's inside which chest. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to break this and we're going to get started on it. So here we go. Okay, you're going to want to start off like so. Put it down on a crafting table and a button over there with a block underneath it. And then right here, you're going to want to put a dropper facing upwards. Temporary blocks like so on the sides. We want to put a dispenser right there. Remember, this has to be a dispenser. Dropper above it, 2 droppers like that. Okay, now you can break these blocks. We're going to keep that one there for now just because. And we're going to extend the redstone underneath here to be able to activate our whole system. So let's get out some redstone. And let's feed that underneath like so. We're also going to want to put down a repeater. Obviously, I missed something because it was hiding out when I was getting my materials together. You're going to need a sticky piston. Now, if you don't have slime blocks, you can use a normal piston. You're just going to want to put sand or gravel on top of it. But if you do have a sticky piston, you can just put a solid block on top like so. Then you're going to want to take a couple blocks out like here, put down a repeater, give it a couple ticks of delay, like what we got over there. Well, about just one, because that's what we got over there. Another repeater off to the side. I'm going to want to put blocks in front of both of those. So first of all, we're going to do the little circuit that goes up and activates the top of things. So that's going to have a torch right there. A couple blocks above it, redstone like so, block up like this, torch in the front, block up like that. That's going to power these 2 droppers. So then we're going to take this signal and we're going to come around here and we're going to activate all of this business. And the way we do that is by putting a torch down like so. Piece of redstone into a block, another torch in it. Bam, that should pretty much activate everything. That torch is going to activate the bottom one, this dispenser, and the one above it because it's directly powered. So this is all you need pretty much if you only want one piece of gunpowder every time. That should do it entirely. Let's see, we probably need a little bit of a delay on that side. There you go. You need a couple ticks of delay so the monostable will activate it. Anyway, we don't want to stop there. We want to activate this 3 more times, or 2 or 3 more times, something like that. So what we're going to do is put a block up on top of it. Okay, put that block up on top like so. Then torch over to the side. And click on the side of here. We're going to want a little bit of a platform, so do a 2x2. Some dust, and some repeaters. And hold off on the delay. We'll work all that stuff out later. Let's just build it for now. So we're going to want to do something like this. So you can see that this repeater goes into a block with redstone on the other side of it. This repeater goes into another repeater, which hits that block over here with redstone beside it. And we're going to want to put a block up on top and redstone over the top of it. So that should be that done. Let's look over here to see the delay. This one gets 3. The other ones get full delay. So there we go, 3, 4, and 4. All right, and that should be pretty much the whole system done, I think. I'm just going to look over it again in case you missed anything, so you can see all the delays and all the timings and everything like that. Okay. All right, well, we should probably test this out because it looks like you got a completed redstone system, so I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff in here, all different colors, so we can see if we get everything. And let's stand right here and hit the button. Bam, there we go. Oh, and we got multiples of different kinds, which is good. So you want at least one of them to get 2. And then the other one that gets multiples is going to have random amounts. Okay, this part's a little bit complicated, but you can get out your hoppers and chests now. We're going to want to put a hopper up there on top of the top one. This is going to be for gunpowder, so we're going to want a chest above it. And another chest beside. We're going to make this into a double, because we're also going to want hoppers that come down into here. So put 2 underneath like that, and then put the other one down into the bottom. So you've got one of these sides of the chest goes down into this bottom dispenser. We can actually test that out. So let's put some items in here. See that some of them go into there, some of them go into there. Perfect. Well, this is going to be our input for gunpowder, and so you can see that it splits it between these two. And then this one, you can just get a normal hopper like so. Put that there. This is where your trap chest goes, so you can fit it next to that double chest. And then on the other side, it's pretty simple. We just want a hopper into this with a chest, and a hopper into this with a chest. And there you go. There's all your chests and hoppers and all the good stuff. Obviously, I'd put some item frames down there so you can tell what's going on. Not a painting, so I'd just stick them on like so. And I think you're good to go. Let's put all the items in place. Let's get all the stuff organized, and let's kind of clean this up a little bit so we can test it out. All right, well, finishing touches, last things last. Probably want to get a couple pumpkins out. So this is variable, meaning that you could have more pumpkins in here, just 1 pumpkin, whatever you want to do, but 2 seems to do it fine for me. So if there's 2 in here, and then there's ones over in all of the other slots, so that all, gunpowder in all the other slots, then it seems like it's a pretty even split between giving you sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and sometimes 4, but most of the time you get about 3, it seems like. So anyway, just make sure to do that. Make sure there's pumpkins in here, and make sure that one's a dispenser, obviously. Then you can just fill everything else up. So over here, this is the modifier chest, and so you put different things in here depending on what you want. And so obviously you could use like mob heads and crazy stuff. There's lots of different modifiers, but I'm just going to use these 3 because they seem like the easiest to get in survival. Something that's realistic. You would realistically be able to fill this up with this kind of stuff in survival Minecraft. Not too big of an issue, but obviously you could put other stuff in there if you want. This one's just got to be paper. You need a piece for every firework. Obviously gunpowder, modifier, and then this is your dye. And so up here you just put random dyes. You can put whatever colors you want. They're just going to mix together, and because of the randomness of the dispenser, it's going to pick a different one each time. Obviously this is pretty much the only problem with the redstone and the compact nature of this is a trap chest, which will shoot an item out, so be careful about that. But it's just a piece of dye, so I don't think it matters too much. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for the redstone. That's it for the tutorial. You've seen everything you need to see. So what I'm going to do now is just fly around a little bit one more time so you can see all the redstone. Try and find anything that's hidden around. I don't think there's anything too hidden in here. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to build. I hope you guys liked it. So now I'm going to craft up a whole bunch of fireworks, and I'm going to show you a random firework display, something that you would expect to see after crafting a whole bunch of stuff through here. All right. All right, guys. Well, This is actually pretty fun. I was kind of expecting this to be a pain to do, but if you do this in classic crafting, it's actually pretty quick. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. It's just a little bit of directional button mashing, but you can see that I'm actually cranking these out pretty quickly. It's pretty fun. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to show you one more time the way that I've been doing it, how my inventory looks and everything when I'm crafting them, because if you are going to be doing this in survival, you're probably going to be doing this a lot, so you want to have a good system worked out. So I think I've got a pretty good system here as far as where I'm putting everything in the crafting grid and how I'm selecting everything. It should be pretty easy for you, so you can see that I already just did a couple in a few seconds just talking to you guys. So anyway, let's finish up a couple more here, and I'll show you what the random firework display looks like once you do this. And I think the coolest thing about this, and as far as in my opinion is concerned, is the different flight time variation stuff. Which means that all of the fireworks are going to reach different heights, and it's going to spread it out much greater instead of just having everything happen in one big clump up in the air somewhere. So anyway, go over here. I just did a little tiny firework circuit. If you want to build this, it's super easy. Just make sure this is in subtract mode, like that, and make sure there's 1, 2, 3. So 3 in a line like that into a repeater dispenser. Pretty dang easy. I don't think it needs too much explanation there. Anyway, this is what you can expect to see with your fireworks after crafting a bunch of them. There you go. We got random colors, we got random sizes and shapes and heights and all the good stuff. Man, that is pretty cool. So anyway, guys, let me know if you liked it. Remember to hit the comment button if you've got one or a question maybe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.